Big Condo Studios, where we hire studios from just £20. With professional studio engineering and production team on hand to help you with every need. From recording songs, recording monologues, or even recording audiobooks, we can help you with any of your studio needs. Make sure you check out our website, www.bigcondostudio.com. Thanks for watching. Hey everybody, welcome back to another season of Meg's Music Box. Today I am joined by the fabulous Irinie.
Oh.
Hey girl.
Hiya, you alright?
Yes, so you've just performed in the Music Box. How was it?
It was so nice. It was a good vibe. It was chilled. It was just lovely. It was my first time, so it was really nice.
It was your first. Did they pop your virginity?
Yeah. Yeah, first time, and it was a good experience, so I'll be back. It was great.
Yeah, amazing. So we're going to talk a little bit about your music later and a little bit about the songs that you've performed for us, because you performed 3 amazing power ballad, tropical vibes, like a little mixture of it all.
Yeah.
So let's get to know you first. So tell me a little bit about why you got into music.
Okay, so the reason I got into it is because with the first lockdown, I just felt like the world was in a state of shock. Like, we were all shocked at what happened, and it kind of made me realise, like, it's now or never, that kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to do it, but I've always, like, made excuses, like, or just dreamt about doing things like music videos, like writing my own music. I never believed to myself that I could write my own music, because I always sung other people's songs.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until I got introduced to Zonj, and he just helped me really and said, you need to write your own songs. And that all started like last year, August. So I'm really new to music, but it's exciting because I've met some really great creatives in the city.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have, people reach out, like other singers supporting me. I know, some other rappers in the industry from the city, and it's nice just to meet people and just branch out and collaborate and stuff.
Yeah.
So it all started in the first lockdown last year, basically.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So kind of where do you see your music going to? Like, if you could perform on any stage in the world, what stage would it be?
It'd definitely be Glastonbury
Oh,
main stage.
Yeah.
Because that's just the pyramid stage. That's the iconic stage. And it's like, for British people, that is like the iconic stage, isn't it? Let's be honest. So I think Glastonbury main stage, yeah.
Amazing. So like I said before, you've got a bit of a 90s vibe, bit of a tropical twist.
Yeah.
So what influences the music that you make?
When I grew up, obviously I grew up in the sort of noughties. Is it the noughties? 2000s, whatever, noughties.
Makes sense.
And yeah, noughties. But so it was all like Damage, like UK R&B artists. So like, there's also obviously the US artists. So Mystique, that's a good one to think of. Yeah. Mystique, Damage, and them kind of UK artists, and then also US artists, so people like Brandy and Monica, Destiny's Child, like Mariah Carey, all of them kind of R&B artists from the 90s and 2000s. So
you definitely feel that flavour coming through in your music.
Yeah, I think that's like authentic for me, because that's naturally like what I grew up listening to.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like just kind of the natural vibe I'll get when I went into like making music and stuff, making my own music.
It stands out a little bit more as well now, because everybody's kind of doing similar things, like a bit of a trap twist, like everything's kind of, whereas you're bringing back the old school and blending it with the new school.
I think one of my friends said, actually, she was like, I feel like with the genres that come in, because I remember when like funky house was a thing, or like certain genres come and go, and they stay for like short-lived periods of time. So at the moment it's drill, and it's like R&B drill and stuff like that, and I can't be someone I'm not. I'm a very like, it's so uncomfortable for me to try and do something. I don't want to start rapping, like it's not for me. And I know that a lot of female rappers are doing well, and I'm glad for them and everything like that, but I've never been into rapping, so I'm not gonna not be myself and try and do something that's not me. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like R&B is a timeless genre. It's a genre that will live through the ages, and even young girls who are about 16, 17 that didn't even live when all these R&B songs were out, or whatever, they kind of listen to that kind of genre of music still now.
Yeah.
So it's still relevant, and I think like especially girls love it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
It was like raw from the heart as well. I always think the lyrics then I listen, I'm like, damn.
yeah, it's always like about love songs in it, and it, like all the videos have got rain in it, and it's very dramatic. But it's like, I think for me, I'm just gonna be true to myself, and I don't want to like push myself to do a genre that I don't really feel comfortable with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're quite big about, you know, owning yourself.
Yeah.
You know, being who you are, being real.
Yeah.
So a huge part of the way you are and the way you present yourself is, you know, you're pushing body confidence.
Yes.
That's something that
Yes.
you're really passionate about, isn't
Yeah,
it?
definitely. I've always been curvy, and you know, I feel like growing up it was all about being skinny, all about being blonde, but now it's all about being brunette, brown, big bum, big lips, and it's like, thank God, because you know, being mixed race, that's natural a body aesthetic for me. But it's like, I'm into people who, no matter what shape or size you are, no matter what skin tone you are, hair colour you have, it's about owning who you are, loving who you are, having that self-love, that self-worth, that self-confidence to be, I'm me, and I'm going to be authentic. I'm all about authenticity.
Yeah.
But of course, like, I love to see, you know, people like Ashley Graham, you know, plus size models, curvaceous models. You know, I'm not really about the whole BBL and the whole plastic surgery. I'm into real bodies and real curves, and that's what I'm into. People that are just genuine, they're real. I mean, I'm not slating surgery. Would I say no to surgery in the future? Not necessarily, but basically, when it comes to being a real person, positive vibes, you know.
Do you know what though? I think that's still so necessary right now because everybody's minds are flooded with social media, and even myself recently have struggled because I used to do modelling, used to do all the skinny stuff, you know, and because even people who are curvy, even people who've got, you know, a little bit of shape, a little bit of booty, you know, little bit of a
little bit of booty,
a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So it's actually, it's like, well, my lumps and bumps aren't in the right place. So, but it's because it's not real, it's surgery. So what you're promoting about real bodies, real curves, it is so important because people are like not feeling comfortable about their own actual self.
I think it's sad because even I'm guilty of it, where there's so many editing apps and there's so many, you know, edited and photoshopped videos and pictures of women and unrealistic expectations. Again, not everyone can afford to go to Turkey and get a $5,000 BBL done. And at the end of the day, there's women who have died off of it, had, you know, bad reactions to the surgery.
Yeah.
And even again, the thing about lip fillers and all that. And, you know, I've had a bit of lip filler, I didn't need it. But again, I feel like it is social media just makes you want unnecessary treatments. And you'll be like, oh, I want to get that. Oh, I want to get this.
It's the filters. You put
it's
the
all
filters,
the filters
on, and you're like, oh, I look
it's
good
a very
with a little skinnier nose.
warped, it's a warped reality.
Yeah.
We're living in a warped reality.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad, because it should be, I love to see people, and I salute them because I think I'm not that brave to do that, an unflattering photo or a photo that shows, you know, stretch marks or, you know, whatever that's deemed not perfection.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But still, regardless, I'm not saying people that do surgery are wrong. I'm not saying people that edit pictures are wrong. Again, I've had minor aesthetics. I wouldn't say no to surgery. It's not about that. It's about being just a positive person, a genuine person.
Being comfortable in
and
your own
being
skin.
comfortable in yourself. Exactly, where I'm comfortable with or without makeup on. Do I love having makeup on? Yeah, I do. But I also want to feel comfortable in myself,
your own,
in my own
being raw
skin.
with yourself.
Yeah,
It is a huge part, especially for women.
Yeah,
because I think as well we're setting unrealistic expectations for other women,
and it's for young girls as well, growing up as well. Because like, I think when I grew up, like I said, it was all about the skinny look, the big fake boobs, like the whole Pamela Anderson Baywatch look.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like, oh, thank God, like I say, it's all about the, you know, it's because of the Kardashians and people like that who have brought in the whole, you know, basically ethnic kinds of look as being the ideal aesthetic.
Yeah.
Whereas that never used to be the case.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I love that. So let's move on to a little bit of what we're both passionate about, a little bit of female empowerment.
Yeah.
So we were saying before, like, when we were getting to know each other just before this chat, that it's so nice to see women who are kind of bigging each other up, hyping each other up, being supporters even without knowing each other. Just like, I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, keep striving, keep getting them goals, like all of that. But like sometimes you come across people who aren't quite there yet.
Yeah, they aren't.
So how do you deal with that?
Sorry, I think they're not comfortable in their own self, babe. Like, when I met you, you're absolutely gorgeous. And I was like, oh, you're gorgeous. It's such a pleasure meeting you. And, you know, paying those compliments.
Stop it.
It's nice to have, like, positive love towards each other. Why hate and jealous of each other? It's really sad to see. But like you said, not everyone's at that place. But I think it's more about them, not you.
Yeah.
That they're not happy in their own self, that they want to be like, you know, sending out that bad energy. But I think you give what you get, really. I think if you give out good energy, then you get that back. And do you know what I mean? I feel like it is about women should support other women.
Yeah. I think as well, like, people, when you see that when you're not intimidated by somebody else's success, that in itself will make you be more successul.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, but I think at the moment people think that there's not enough space for everybody to shine.
Yeah.
But it's like everybody, like, it's just everything's so accessible now. Like, there's so much room for everybody to do their own thing and to be glowing and you know, doing well for themselves. Yeah. So it's you know, it's good. It's a good movement to be a part of. Yeah. And the more women that kind of get involved in it, all the women are like, oh, actually, you know, maybe I should check myself and not be so bitchy. Yeah. But do you ever get any, like, people being bitchy to you? How do you shut it down?
I do feel like people make a presumption about me, so they will, based on sort of how I present on social media, they will think she's clearly conceited, arrogant, stuck up, and that's not the case. Like, I am actually really down to earth, really loving, really kind. I think people are shocked when they meet me in real life and think, oh, you're actually not like that kind of persona that I kind of labelled you as. Yeah. And I feel like sometimes when people don't speak to me and they see me, I've even had a girl who said to me recently, like, oh, I remember you from a few years ago. I was like, oh yeah. She goes, I just thought you were so intimidating, but you're actually so nice. And I feel like people make that judgment based on how you look, you know, and I feel like that's wrong. I think you should always, but it is, we all do it though. We all do it. So, but yeah, I think it is, it's definitely a thing where I have had that, but, I like to prove people wrong.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. We did, so with Big Condo, me and my cousin, we used to have a podcast years ago, and we did a whole podcast on misconceptions. Yeah. So, like, we just asked people, you know, what did you think of me before, you know? And some of the things people were saying, I was like, do I come across like that?
I know, it is. It's quite shocking, isn't it? But then I think there's also the thing where you're so used to getting them stereotypes almost that it's like, oh, yeah. You know, when people were like, oh, you've got such a big bum. I'm like, yeah.
Touch it?
Yeah, touch it, bring it. No, but what? You know, when people say the same old things, oh, God, you look so, you know, you just always get the same type of things and labels, and then it gets a bit boring after a while. But then I feel like it'll be nice when I see people that don't make them judgments and they just take you for who you are. And
I think we're getting closer to that. Well, definitely. Because I feel once people have been criticised, they kind of don't want to do that to some other people.
Yeah, because sometimes you do think negative stuff and you're like, but I would never, you know, when you get the trolls online that put the nasty comments and it's always someone behind a fake account. It's always someone with no profile picture, no followers. It's like, you wouldn't say that on your real account though, would you? No. Do you know what I mean?
No. I got trolled recently through a video that I did. And like, I just had to laugh, you know, because I was like, I haven't got time. Like, I seen that I haven't got really time to respond to you. Yeah. But like, where have you got the time to go and stalk people?
Oh no, it's sad. It's quite concerning, isn't it? Yeah. You just think, like, you know, like a head tap, like,
yeah. Right, let's talk about your music. So, first song, Can't Let You Go. Yeah. To me, it's got Faith Evans vibes, very gospel. Yeah. Very like, come on, saying it with your chest.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me, like, what's the story behind that song?
Okay, so Can't Let You Go is obviously about a boy. So it's about my ex-boyfriend, and we were together on and off 4 or 5 years. You know, we lived together, was really close, and it is about like when you break up with someone, but then you continue a relationship, basically an unofficial relationship. So it was about like how I genuinely felt like a real life situation between me and my ex-boyfriend. So I feel like Can't Let You Go was about him.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Has he ever heard it? Has he ever gave you any?
He has, and he was like really controlling and stuff. That's why for the last few years that I've been single, spent my whole life in relationships. So I have had a bit of freedom to do things that I've always desired to do. But then when I've been with someone, they've been like, you can't post that picture, you can't do that. But like when he saw the video for Can't Let You Go, he was absolutely like pissed off because it's quite saucy, it's quite racy. And he was like,
sex sells, honey.
You better get that off. And I was just like, we're not together anymore. I can do what I want. So it was a bit of a rebellion, but it's not even a rebellion. It's like I always wanted to do like a bath scene and like a boudoir scene. And I'm really into that. And he was like, what are you doing? So it's hard, you know what I mean? Because I've always been in really controlling relationships, really, you know, guys that are very kind of the jealous type, basically. So but I loved him anyway. I did love him.
This is the thing though, isn't it? Like with girls, we always go, because I went through this as well, like thank God I'm not anymore, and I got engaged recently, but
ooh, I know, I noticed that. I love emeralds.
After the last session after the last podcasting session I actually got proposed to from Big Condo, so that was mad. But I used to always choose the wrong type of guy, and it was because I like inside of myself I was at the shit of self-esteem. I had no self-esteem, and I felt like by you know being with these people who were like hard to deal with, makes you feel like it's like you're putting your kind of.
But do you know what? When you said that, you just triggered a memory, because when I was on a train years ago, I was only a kid, this lady said to me, sometimes a man will try and take that spirit from you. Mm-hmm. And I'm not bashing men. There's really good men out there. But there's also men that see a light in you and a fire in you, and they're attracted to it. But then when they get you, they want to suck all that
like
goodness out of you. Yeah, like a leech on a bit of skin, like... You know what I mean? And they just think, I don't want you shining, because then you attract other people. Yeah. And they're intimidated by your confidence and your, you know, positivity and all that. And they just think, they
want to steal that light. I totally
and they
get that.
Drain that. And I think that's probably where your low self-esteem come from at that time, when you were with people and it was subconsciously doing it to you.
Literally. It was one guy, I was so young, and it just like, it felt like it was effort, so it must have been worth it. But I was only young. And when I say young, I mean I was literally 15 to 17, my first boyfriend. But then that set the standard then. Like, I'm not tolerating none of that. But it is like I see it with my friends and stuff, where you keep going back to that same person, because it's a bit like an addiction, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what Can't Let You Go is about.
Yeah, and then we move on to Over Again.
Yeah, Over Again.
Again, 90s vibes.
Yeah.
So tell me the story behind Over Again.
Again, all my songs are genuine, authentic, real life situations that I've felt and putting it down on paper. And Over Again it's about a relationship. I'm a typical R&B singer. It's all about relationship. This one is a bit more about sexual side of relationships. So it's about like, you know, basically feeling like it's okay. So I'll be honest. So I must have been literally genuinely having a ciggy out the window. I was sitting on like, I've got like massive windows in mine. So I was just sitting out having a ciggy. So I've seen my ex-boyfriend's car. And I was like, I rang him. I was like, some girls just got out your car, like from the driver's seat, like was driving what I thought to be was his car. And then he was like, no, there's no girl in my car. I'm literally, and I was like, oh, okay. So that song came from a real life scenario where I thought I saw some girl jumping out of your car, and that's the first line in it. Yeah. And I was like, obviously felt sick. I felt hurt because I feel like when you break up with someone, it's better when you don't see who they're with. Like, you get me?
Yeah.
You'd rather just never see that.
Yeah.
But then when you actually do, if you ever do, it's not happened to me, thank God, but see a girl with your ex-boyfriend, you're like, oh, it's like a shock.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, who is this girl? So cut long story short, that is basically how the song was written about. And it was about, well, I'm thinking like me and you have been at it all night. I'm not being funny, but that's what it over again's about. We've gone again and again and again. Like, we've had passionate sex. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is what it's about. And again and again and again. And then I thought we were like, still had something, and we don't. Like, it's about a relationship again.
Yeah.
Basically.
I feel because it is hard to break them patterns, isn't it?
Yes.
And I've got I won't mention no names, but a good friend of mine literally does the same thing over again, but it's because of the sex.
Yeah, because if it's good sex,
like
and you feel comfortable with someone that you've been with so long, you both know each other's bodies, and you think, the sex is great, I'm going there again.
Yeah.
And again and again and over again. So you do, and that is what it is about. So, but it is toxic because you will just never move on. No. And that's what I've realised, because I've been on and off with him for ages. It's just ridiculous.
Lovehoney.com. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, so the next song is Boy Is Man.
Yeah, the Boy Is Man 2021.
2021.
Remastered, yeah.
I love that.
Because it's, again, like you were saying, I'm getting, because when you listen to it, you was like, I'm getting the 90s vibes. And it is like, obviously, Brandy Monica, The Boy Is Mine, that was one of my favourite songs. It is iconic R&B song. And it was myself and Paisley B. She's worked with Big Condo before, she reached out to me over social media. She was like, I really like you, I like your vibe, I like, you know, what you stand for. Again, she's a positive female. She was like, yeah, I'm feeling ya, I think you're great, I want to do a song. I was like, yeah, that's brilliant, like I'll do it, I'm up for it. So it was my first duet, and she basically reached out. She was like, let's do something. I was like, right, okay, come to my friends home studio. It was during the lockdown, you know what I mean? Most of my music has been made during lockdown from home studios, and I don't want to get myself in trouble there, but hey, fuck you, Boris. But yeah, no, I'm joking. And then so she came to me with the beat, with her verse, the chorus, and then so I wrote my verse, we collaborated on it, and it was a really, really good day. You know, it was a long day, but it was a good day. And yeah, I just think The Boy Is Mine is basically the same concept of two girls seeing the same guy. She's saying, this is my guy. She's saying, I don't think so. So mine's like quite a bitchy comeback, like, girl, nah, like, he's got me. Why does he want you? Like, it's basically a false scenario this time. So this is the thing with music. Sometimes it's like a fictional and non-fictional. Yeah. Like a bit like a novel, isn't it? So with that's fictional, you know what I mean? It's like a made-up scenario, but the exact same concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's iconic, isn't it?
It's iconic. And it's always like, it's like, you know, the Usher and R. Kelly song, you know, Same Girl. It's that typical scenario. Luckily, I've not been in it, but in real life. But yeah, it's a typical scenario where it's like the same person is getting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what's next for you then? Have you got any gigs lined up? Have you got any, you know, you released any music on platforms or anything like that? What are you up to?
Yeah, okay, so my music is on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, so it's released, you know, I distribute it through Ditto. And basically, I have just come out of lockdown, as we all have in the last 2 weeks. I haven't got any live shows or gigs lined up as of yet, but it's really good.
But if you're listening and you like it.
Yeah, exactly. But I am looking to branch out and meet new people, because like I say, I made music through lockdown. We've been in a whole year of 3 lockdowns, and I made my music during the lockdown, and I think the lockdown was the push to go for it. And I'm literally 6 months into making music. I'm a baby, do you know what I mean? So I've got a lot of learning to do. I've got a lot of people to meet, but I feel like I'm really open to that. So I am open to, you know, collaborate with other artists, collaborate with other, you know, other creatives.
Yeah.
So for me, my music is on Spotify and all the other major platforms. So yeah, but I am open to what the future might hold. I am definitely, yeah.
So let's tell our listeners and viewers where they can find you on socials.
Okay, so it's Irinie _II on Insta, and the same with Twitter. It's the same on all my social media. So if you just type in Irinie, you'll find it.
Oh, amazing. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having a good gab with you.
And you.
So, and best of luck with your music journey. Just starting.
Just starting.
6 months already on Spotify, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
true.
quite a big deal, you know. That's good.
Yeah, I think like even you know, as I said, people have said to me in the short space of time you've been doing it, you have made a little buzz around you, a little wave. People have asked me about you, and I was like, oh really? And so I feel like it's coming. It's all coming. It's all new. It's all coming, and it's exciting, really.
You're taking action.
I'm taking action on it. It's
fast action as well. Went from seed to sprout in less than 6 months.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
No, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for
Meg.
coming on today.
Oh, thanks. Lovely.
Thanks so much for tuning into the Music Box, guys. I've been Meg Vincetta. You can find me on all social platforms at Meg_Vincetta. Vincetta. Make sure you hit the like button if you like this video, and make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. If you would like to get involved in any Big Condo future videos, then please don't hesitate, get in touch.